Let me just make sure I've got this. Okay, I just need to check my YouTube studio now. Am I live? Oh no. Okay, cool. We are live. I just need to get you the link. Ah. Okay. Hey, can someone just click on that link in the Discord and see if it takes you to YouTube? You don't, like, obviously if you're in class, you don't need to go to the screen. That does not look right, does it?
Everybody uses the same tutorial.
Okay, hopefully this will be it. Okay, that link should work for people. If don't keep it open, but just check to see does it work. Are people seeing a live stream of the screen? Cool. Okay, great. So folks, what that means is basically that like we kind of have some continuity. The plan basically is to continue as we've been doing. I'll be here in class for games and culture and context for the first session here, second session in our normal room, and then back here for our 2 game plays hours. Okay. Now, if for any reason, like basically because of the current situation with COVID, some people are having to take time off or not go into class or like their close contacts. And what I want to be able to do is that those people can hopefully join class live and kind of see what's going on. And there'll also be, this should also go up on my YouTube channel. I'll make sure to put in a playlist. Okay? So it basically gives flexibility to people. Like, I know some people have like health conditions that put them high risk. They might live with people who are high risk. And like what I want to do is make sure that it's as flexible as possible for people. Okay? I think I said this like week 1 or 2 or something, but like you're all adults. I trust you all to do the work basically and catch up on things if you're not. Cool. So what we're going to jump into today, we're going to do 2 things in the lab, okay? And the first one is, this is on the opposite side of my screen, I hate working like this. But the first one is, if you click this link to bias tests, it's going to open up this Harvard project called Project Implicit, okay? These are tests developed by Harvard that are basically there to show us where we maybe have unconscious bias or maybe conscious bias. Okay? Does anyone know what unconscious bias is? Has anyone ever heard of it? Yeah, yeah. So the idea is basically unconscious bias. There's things we do and we don't realize we're doing. Basically, okay. Like we're choosing. A simple kind of unconscious bias that happens with students is a thing called design fixation, which is that students come up with a game idea, they think it's the best game idea in the world, and then they work on it without necessarily thinking about other ideas to help people better. Does that make sense? That's a form of unconscious bias. Other types of unconscious, like we're all aware of like racism and what that involves in sexism, but often people who would say they're not maybe sexist or not racist, if they actually do some of these tests, they might see that actually, like it shows that maybe I have a little bit of unconscious bias, basically. Okay, that maybe when it comes to it, if I've got a choice between two people of similar skill sets, I end up picking the person who's more like me. Okay, that's the thing people naturally tend to do. Doing these tests will show us where we have those biases. Okay, now when you do this test, you don't have to I'm not going to ask you to share your results with the class or anything like that. But basically, pick one of these biases that you're kind of interested in. Like, so, old, young bias. Do you think you're biased against people of different age groups? Gender, disability, Arab, Muslim, race. Okay, there's different ones there, basically. Pick one of them you want to do, and it'll take about 10 minutes to do the test, 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then we're going to move on to a game where we're going to kind of interrogate these biases and see kind of how they affect people at a societal level. Okay? Oh, is it not? I might not have made it public yet. Sorry. Cool. That should show up now in the content section on Brightspace. Basically, click on the bias test, pick one of them, and do it over the next I'd say about 10-15 minutes. When you're done with the bias test, you're going to click on this parable of the polygons, and you're going to run through this. This is like a kind of playable, interactive post that's going to go through some of the things you've gone through in that bias test. Okay, let's go look at other kind of societal level. Okay, so first you pick one of the tests, whichever one you want. It doesn't really matter too much. Like one that you think maybe you might have a slight bias towards. Pick one, do it, and see how you get on. Okay. Any questions on that? Everyone okay? Cool. The question is, can I pause the stream? Folks, your results of this, I'm not going to ask anyone to share them or anything like this. This is just a test for you. Please also give people privacy while they're doing these tests. Okay.